I don't know how the Browns recover from that. I don't know how they can put him back on the field here in Cleveland ever again. Maybe, you know what? Hey, here's a this would be the Brownsiest Browns move ever. And I'm all for giving the Browns bad ideas. Because they never take my good ones, except for when it came to the stadium. They did build that where I said they should 15 years ago. But I don't know, maybe Shedeur Sanders starts the home games and Deshaun starts the road games. How about that, Nick? You got dual QB1s. They both win the quarterback competition.
I mean, Daryl, he literally sounded like he would prefer to play 17 road games. Like, he actually sounded like in that clip that he was ready to withdraw himself from this quarterback competition.
Yeah.
Like that's what it sounded like. And
I think he did.
Daryl, we all said going into yesterday that this competition was over. It was decided. It was Deshaun's job to lose. And the only thing that could prevent Deshaun Watson from starting week 1 in Jacksonville was an epic meltdown.
Yeah.
I think that qualifies as an epic meltdown.
Well, he had, 3 3-and-outs, then the interception, or 2 3-and-outs and the interception. Just a train wreck of a performance on the field. Again, no disrespect to the Buffalo players, but like that.
Not starters or backups out there.
You're not going to see a lot of those guys this season, is the way I'm going to put that. Because I just, again, respect in sports, I'm going to be respectful. You know, normally I'd sit here and have some fun and talk about guys bagging groceries in a couple of weeks.
Selling insurance.
Right. Like, I'm not going to do that, okay? These guys will be looking for football jobs elsewhere, or, unfortunately, their dreams of playing in the National Football League will ultimately come to an end, and they will have to
there are spring leagues now.
They're going to have to do something else, right?
Right.
So, and he did not look like he belonged on the field. And I thought it was set up for him to light it up, and then it just make it so easy for Todd Monken to say, yeah, you know, Deshaun's a veteran. I trust him with everything we're asking him to do offensively. He showed that in the preseason. He can operate, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And you can't do it now. You cannot. Deshaun basically talked himself out of that job yesterday. And here's the problem that I have with Deshaun's point of view. And then we'll get into the booing and all that kind of stuff. Mary Kay Cabot, Cleveland.com, Plain Dealer, Orange and Brown Talk podcast. She, Pro Football Hall of Famer, should also mention that. She asked Deshaun, I believe it was on Tuesday or Wednesday. I forget the day I think it was Wednesday when the two quarterbacks talked. Just an innocent question, but also a fair question because of, and Deshaun obviously mentioned it, right? What happened before. Asked him, hey, you know, what if you get booed on Saturday? And his response was, I don't care. Fine. Perfectly acceptable answer. If it was true. And it wasn't. Clearly he cares. Clearly he's hurt by it. Clearly he's bothered by it.
He admitted it. He admitted it yesterday. Finally, it has taken him 5 years to do so, but it is finally...
He dropped the tough guy act.
And admitted that it's impacting him, that he's not the same beloved figure that he was in Houston. And honestly, Daryl...
And by the way, that's his own doing.
That because he is washed on the field, I think the realization hit him yesterday that he's never going to be able to reach that point with these fans. It's untenable. We have reached untenable. And you thought it was bad before? Well, you really burnt the bridge to repairing it when you went up on the podium and pretty much called out and challenged those fans for booing. That's where we're at right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost...
He challenged the Browns fans. And it's like, I know you want to talk about the booing. I don't have an issue with it. If you pay for those seats...
Look...
In those conditions,
I think that here, it's easy for me to sit in a press box and say the fans can do whatever the fans want to do. They pay their hard-earned money, and it's their right. If they want to boo, they should be able to boo. And I agree, and I do believe that. as long as you're not making threats, as long as you're not, if you're just booing, if you're saying you stink, you suck, like that's part of being a fan.
Yep.
Okay. And is it a good look? No. It's not a good look to boo your own guy. But Deshaun was just never really one of the guys here. His first, the fans couldn't even get excited about the blockbuster trade because the entire summer was spent talking about what he was accused of doing. And again, I don't know if he did it or not. Okay? He wasn't charged with a crime.
They couldn't lean into him.
He was sued.
Daryl,
he settled out of court with the accusers, and that's that.
From a marketing standpoint, they couldn't lean into him. They couldn't post him on social because it was nothing but trolls. They didn't put his image on the side of the stadium until a few years ago because
last
they couldn't.
Week, the NFL, when they were promoting Browns versus Bears, couldn't even use Deshaun's picture. They used Shador's, and Shador didn't even start the game.
That's where we're at with this thing, dude.
Non-marketable commodity. I remember his first training camp practice. I actually threw up that night when I went back and looked at the photos because I was so disgusted by what the Browns did that day. They brought these moms and other young women, lined them up on the practice field with little girls and had Deshaun go through and shake hands and take photos and sign autographs.
And made it look like they were just standing there.
Embracing him, welcoming him. It was the most tone-deaf, disrespectful, disgusting thing the Browns have done from a PR standpoint. And they've had a lot of PR blunders over the years. But that was up there. I vomited that night when I was going through those photos that I took of that scene and looked at the video that I took of that scene to present him in that fashion. While, by the way, he was still negotiating a suspension with the NFL league office.
Right, it hadn't come out at that point that how much time he was going to miss. And there was speculation
that
on
was
both
the entire
ends.
offseason. How much time is he going to miss? Did he do it?
And what's he going to look like? And what's he going to look like when he comes back?
Right.
And we quickly found that he didn't look very good. And here we still sit. And that was funny because when the game ended yesterday, if we want to take a little bit lighthearted look at this, when the game ended yesterday and he completed 4 passes and had a 14 quarterback rating, you were able to kind of make the jokes like, well, wait till he knocks that rust off. Ha ha ha. Going into the 5th year of the contract, if he could finally get back to 2019 form, we'll really have something here. Like, you knew what it is from an on-field perspective. He's completely washed. But then when he approaches the podium after the game and says what he says, it sounds like a guy that literally has no interest being the starting quarterback for this team anymore. So why should this even be a conversation? Like, it is so, he has made this so easy for Todd Monken.
Yeah.
It's right there. He pretty much told you he doesn't want to play in front of these fans ever again. You can't play. You cannot play 17 road games. You can't move this thing to Columbus. Not anymore. That was maybe an idea when you were trying to figure out the stadium. That's dead. You can't play in Ohio Stadium with the Buckeye fans. You've got to play in that building. And if he can't play in that building, start Shador Sanders. It's all right there for you.
I was walking down the ramp and to get to the locker room yesterday with Andy Baskin, and the thought in my head was, boy, this just got even tougher for Todd Monken.
Right.
Might he have to push this decision through one more week?
Yep.
Coming up the elevator after post game, I was like, I don't know what the hell they do now. You're past the point of no return. It's an ugly divorce now. The parents aren't talking to each other. The player hates the fans. The fans hate the player.
Hey, Daryl, it should have been a divorce when the owner said it was a swing and a miss. You let it end there.
Well,
that's really how it ends. Like this soft launch back over these last couple of months, it's really been a soft launch in the works since February, where they've tried to prime us that Deshaun Watson's going to be the starting quarterback of this thing. They had ownership going on shows talking about how good Deshaun looked at the end of last season, how helpful he was to the young quarterbacks. They were really trying to sell this fan base on Deshaun Watson again, and this fan base rejected it.
Well, and also, too, Deshaun wasn't very good. Like, lost in this whole thing, okay, is that Deshaun just wasn't very good in the offseason program.
No.
He wasn't very good in training camp. He had his moments. He had his good days. He had more bad days than good, in my view.
Yep.
Okay? At least with Shedeur Sanders, there's an incline. There's hope. You can start him this year and sell your fans on. We're going to take a look and see what this kid can do. There's hope there. He's gotten better. We want to reward him for his hard work. You can sell that. But see, they've even botched that. Because now it's the default. It's what you're left to do.
Right.
Which, quite frankly, isn't fair to Shedeur Sanders. It isn't.
It makes it look like he didn't win this competition. No. It makes it look like that
Deshaun hit the eject button.
Right.
He handed in his resignation.
Right. He took the knee.
I don't blame Browns fans for not liking Deshaun Watson. What's he done here? What's he accomplished? What good moment has he provided Browns fans?
Other than an uncomfortable feeling every time we're forced to discuss him.
Other than ruining 5 seasons, including this coming season. And now the salary cap ramifications, they can't cut it. Well, they can cut him.
But then it messes up next year.
Right. But then now that'll be a 6th season that he sticks you with. As a fan.
Do you just tell him, hey, dude, it's not working, go home? Do you do one of those? You're not cut, but go home.
We will honor your contract because we're legally obligated to do it, but please, for the love of everything holy, get out of here.
And then it makes it easy. Shedeur, Gabriel, Taylon Green. Them are your quarterbacks.
I mean, this is, again, I have seen a lot with this franchise over the last 27 years. This one's up there. The mess that they have created, and shame on them. Shame on Jimmy and Dee Haslam. Shame on J.W. Johnson and Whitney Johnson. Shame on all of you for putting us in this position and trading for this guy and asking everybody to turn a blind eye to the accusations and the suspension and the settlement. Not settlement, settlements. Shame on all of you for doing this to Browns fans. And now Browns fans got to be lectured by, I don't know, the new up-and-comer about respect in sports and how disrespectful it was to boo Deshaun Watson.